Hello everybody. I'd like to make an official statement regarding this prototype. It was leaked. It would originally have been under an NDA of some description for Microsoft employees. I wouldn't know anything about that. It's just been made available more recently, and I want to check it out. If uploading video or footage of this prototype is not allowed, then get in touch with me politely by email, ask me to take it down. Don't go straight for content ID claims and all that sort of fun stuff, because I would really recommend against that. Just in general, there are better ways to let your opinions be known. Shiny and bumpy and bursting with love. Microsoft confidential and proprietary information. Uh-oh. All use of this pre-release software, brackets pre-release game, is governed by the terms of the pre-release software non-disclosure and license agreement, the license agreement, as well as your Microsoft employee agreement. Well, I'm not a Microsoft employee, so this doesn't apply to me. If you do not agree with the terms of the license agreement, press the B button and make no further use of this pre-release game. By clicking the A button, you manifest your agreement to the terms of the Halo 3 software non-disclosure and license agreement, as well as the applicable parts of your Microsoft employee agreement. Again, not a Microsoft employee, and I haven't seen this Halo 3 software non-disclosure and license agreement, so I'm just going to go ahead and agree to that. Matchmaking, so at this point in Halo 3's development, what's referred to as the Pimps at Sea prototype, there isn't actually a campaign of any sort here. Now that's interesting. So we've got matchmaking, we've got custom games, and then start brings up a menu. So what do we got on this menu? News. All 9 multiplayer maps are available as free downloads. Installation of these maps is required in order to play Halo 2 matchmaking. So this is based on Halo 2. I mean, I understood that to be the case, but it's interesting to see it confirmed here in a prototype. Achievements. You're going to have to wait for a while before we get to that feature. So they haven't even got any achievements within this build yet. If I go to games, yeah, it doesn't show up on the game list as an actual game. Some of the prototypes that we'll touch upon on this channel do have achievements tied to them. Statistics, you're going to have to, again, so that doesn't actually exist. News, so if you try to select any of these, they don't do anything. Settings, okay, appearance. So what kind of options do we have on this beta? No emblem options, but we can change our base color. So the base color of our Master Chief. We can change background color. I'm not quite sure what that's the background of. Background of the emblem. Okay, so this seems very much based on the core of Halo 2, doesn't it? Like, admittedly, I haven't played Halo 2 for a very, very, very long time, but I'm getting a lot of Halo 2 sense from this. Costume. I'm a pirate. Yar. So I go matchmaking. Network offline. You must be connected to Xbox Live to play. Party is offline. Right. Can I... like... custom games. Here we go. There's a few more maps in the game files than just these. Interesting. So when I go to press start game, I can't boot in. Map overrides, vehicles, respawn settings, social settings. I was kind of hoping there'd be a way to boot up with no other players. Now, this release came with a little something else that might solve our problem. So I'm just going to go ahead and navigate to that. I'm going to return to my launcher. Because I think we've got a little something that might let us in. So the game wasn't showing up in my actual library, but truth be told, if I navigate down to it, I literally called it Pimps at Sea. Yeah. There's a little thing here called Pimps Unlocked. And I've got a feeling that this might be what we need. Here we go. Editor, theater, campaign. Well, levels here are temporarily just for testing. Okay. Outskirts. Let's boot into it and see what happens. Yes, so this is the earliest known prototype of Halo 3 in existence. And so trying to boot into that Halo 2 map didn't work. We're going to carry on trying the other Halo 2 maps to see if anything boots. It's not looking very promising. Try the other Halo 2 map here. Quarantine Zone. Try booting that. Yes, so from what I understand, this leak may be related to the push to get this cut content into the PC version of Master Chief Collection. So Halo 3, we got everything here, but I very much doubt anything will boot. From what I understand, there was only about 3 or 4 maps in this game's folder. We'll go ahead and try and boot everything, and see if something lets us in. But I'm getting the feeling it won't. However, editor mode might let us boot into a map. I'm just hoping to get into something. So far, no luck. Are these the the right missions? I'd have to remind myself of the Halo 3 campaign. Flood ship. There was a flood ship. Maybe it is, and just the names are weird because it's sort of an early prototype. I'm really hoping that Halo Battle Royale is good. When they announced Halo Infinite, I'm like, fuck yeah, Halo Battle Royale, and then it didn't launch with a BR, and that just felt weird to me, given that everything else is so like focused on Battle Royale right now. So it looks like none of these are going to boot, which is unfortunately part of the territory when it comes to, you know, testing these betas. I haven't actually announced the live stream yet. I figured that this would be a little extra for people who are actually paying attention. To be fair, people are very busy on Boxing Day, so I'm going to go ahead and announce it, but I'm not going to put an out here on it. So it's up to people to pop in if they want to see. This isn't really anything special, it's just the earliest known prototype of Halo 3 to be released in any shape or form, officially or unofficially to the public. It's not anything special. I'm still rough, you know. I tested this morning and I'm still positive, so I can't go anywhere. This is how I'm getting my fun today. It does fascinate me that Halo 2 is now, like, properly confirmed to have been built... Halo 3 is confirmed to have been built off Halo 2. But I don't think any of these campaign missions are going to boot. Halo 3 Alpha. Yeah, I'm feeling absolutely terrible. I really am. Just still rough. None of the campaign missions are booting, I'm afraid. We're not going to get to see campaign gameplay, which is unfortunate. But we might be able to get into, like, offline with bots. Yes, we can. We can get into offline with bots, so we can at least boot into a map and have a look. Can we? Are we permitted? We are. So this is what the earliest known prototype of Halo 3 looked like. It very much appears to be based on Halo 2. What would be my crouch button in that's right, it'll be a toggle by default. Do I have another gun? No, I do. So I didn't start with a pistol. There's probably some Halo fans that can identify this map and whether or not it's finished or what sort of condition it's in. I can't really comment on that as someone who's not really much of a Halo player. But what I can do is, you know, take a look at everything. Some form of invisible wall here, so we're not going to be allowed to explore. I wonder what sort of options we got on the pause menu. We can have a look at the oh, we can't. A lot of these options aren't finished. The back button doesn't do anything, which I was kind of hoping it would. We could sort of rock to the sides with the D-pad. That's interesting. So we can beep our horn. Vehicle physics do seem a bit... Maybe I'm just not used to driving a vehicle in Halo. Can't get through that door. Did I manage to get somewhere I can't escape from? Surely not. Now we can go up here. There's just like rocket launcher just sitting around. Spike rifle. And just randomly. I'm pretty sure there's not a rocket launcher there on... There's a switch on top of the base for the door. Alright. Go take a look. I think I have to go up here. Oh, check it out. What's this little spot? Don't turn my light on. Oh no, don't throw a grenade in there. Oh yeah, this is Halo 3, so of course we've got the third grenade type. Can operate the turret, but it's not the point in development where I can take the turret off. Or maybe this is just not one of those turrets I can pull off. Right. So there must be... Is this the panel? RB to open the gate. Oh. Take a chance on me. Oh, God. If there's any major differences between these maps and the final, we could always try porting these maps into Halo Master Chief Collection. So in theory, they should just work. I was kind of hoping I could spawn some bots or something. Because it is a bit boring with just me. Ooh. Thankfully, these don't spin when they fire now. Unlike in Cursed Halo. So it seems a relatively small map, really. Let's go ahead and back out of this. The winning players may not be too happy with you.
Game over.
But I am the winning player. Loading times are a little bit rough. Admittedly, when you're in alpha, the last thing you're worried about is how long it takes for a match to load. VIP, protect the VIP from dying. Slayer, capture the flag territories. Ninja flag. Slayer. Different types of Slayer. So there's a lot of game modes here. Again, this must be a lot of borrowed stuff from Halo 2. Gonna go ahead and check out the other two maps in this. So, Snowbound, have a quick run around this. How's playing with the early build? It's very empty. It's definitely very empty. This prototype is way earlier than the demo that was included with Crackdown. Like, way earlier. Ooh. I vaguely remember this map, actually. Vaguely. Again, I wish I had something to shoot at. Oh, people making fun of someone for being happy about what they got for Christmas. God, I got fucking Lynx fucking shampoo, conditioner, you know, fucking... Some kid gets an Xbox Series X, let him be happy about it. You know? Imagine being just so, like, unhappy in your life that you have to make fun of somebody being happy and having a good time. How insecure a person's got to be, you know? It's a bit weird. Doesn't appear to be a great deal of stuff going on in this map. I was kind of hoping I'd be able to, like, access a menu and, like, no clip and do all that sort of fun stuff, you know. I'm holding back button and pressing other buttons, hoping that there's some sort of, like, back button and a D-pad direction to activate a secret. No. Nothing like that. There might be functions tied to a second controller, but I don't have one plugged in, so don't really have that to test at the moment. This was a spur-of-the-moment thing. I saw it on Internet Archive. I thought, well, this is legendary. If I don't touch this by the time I get around to it, it won't be relevant anymore. What happens if I die? Got a respawn timer. And my setting for Spartan color worked. So yeah, it does seem to be quite... It does seem to be quite feature complete, at least from a matchmaking point of view. I guess they had that in place very early with Halo 3. Because of course they were moving from the original Xbox where online multiplayer was something of an afterthought, over to the Xbox 360 where online multiplayer is a core facet of the console's identity. So it makes sense that they would put emphasis on making sure that online stuff is in place first. Interesting. So Endgame and Leave Game seem to do the same function. Except in this case, is the game still running in the background? Because I left a game that was running. I don't know, it's a little bit... I wonder if there's a way we can load like 3 maps at once and crash this. It's possible that Sony will pay for exclusivity on... Hey, I know this map. That Sony will pay for exclusivity on Final Fantasy games. I mean, they can if they want to be absolute fucking hypocrites, but it hasn't stopped them so far. Exclusivity is bad for video games. By the way, we've paid so that Final Fantasy VII Remake will never come to Xbox. I mean, that's pretty stupid. Hey, Ant, have we run around this one in VR? In Contractors? Because this one's sort of familiar. Don't remember turrets, though. Yes, we did. Right, okay. That's why this one's familiar. Oh, bullets making splashes. I mean, that's completely unnecessary at this conjecture, but it's nice that it's in the game. It's probably something else that's from Halo 2. I never did play Halo 2, so... Yo! Right, let's see if I can get out of bounds with this. If they bothered to put an invisible BSP up here. Yes, they did. There's an invisible ceiling. Oh, no fair. But with any luck, if we access the editor, we might be able to explore these maps in a little bit more detail. Yeah! In your face. Is that another Wraith? Banshee, rather. Woo! Wraith is the big one. Ghost is the small one. Banshee is the flying one. It's cool, but very empty. I'm curious now, if a second controller was plugged in, could I do split screen in this beta? Why possibly not?
Game over.
Game over. So I'm curious about this editor. Like, what even is editor mode? Editor mode. Start map editor. So is this like a very early version of Forge? Will it crash? Oh, no, we're in gameplay. So what happens if I press start now? Gotta wait a while before we do this feature. Alright, okay. Yo, back button brings out a free cam on this mode. I can't, like, pause time. It's pretty cool, though. So how far out can I go with this, I guess, is the next question. That's as far as I can walk. Yeah, okay, I can go out of bounds with this camera. Now the next question is, can I, like, drop my character? Wait. How do I pick what I drop? Yo! Can't grab player. But I can grab other things. I can grab and move things. But I can't change what they are. Don't appear to have that functionality. Ooh. Is that like a Hall of Mirrors effect? Am I going out somewhere where I shouldn't be able to? Sort of a weird effect in the sky. That's where the map ends, and then, like, the ground underneath. It says a lot more than you get to actually get to. Guess to give the illusion of size. I think it's annoying I can't pick what I'm dropping, though. Maybe that's a second controller function. Because every button I've pressed on the controller hasn't done anything in regards to what I can drop. I can't drop anything while I'm holding something. If I press back, it teleports me right back to where I was. I was kind of hoping I could teleport to where I exit the editor mode. It could be seen as a very early version of Forge, couldn't it? Kind of hoping, like, holding LB or RB and pressing directions. Triggers together. I have to be careful, because I think that combination is take a screenshot on my my modded Xbox. Yeah, there doesn't appear to be a great deal of functionality. And while you can use this to get some nice screenshots of, say, a Spartan standing still, I can't, like, pause time and take a screenshot. So online functionality in this, any server that it would have used is definitely gone now. I would say the chance of getting this build online and playing it with someone would be 0. There might be a way to get LAN going with this between 2 Xboxes. Because that functionality is no doubt in this. But outside of, like, the free cam, there's not really a great deal I can do in this. Yo! Okay, so check it out, right? Exiting the free cam puts me back into first person. I guess the free cam assumes, right? The free cam assumes that you're going to be in first person. So when you leave free cam and go back. It's like, oh yeah, the game is first person, so bring the camera back in first person. Now I'm in first person in a vehicle. Now that's new. That's not something I've seen before. First person inside a vehicle. So I guess the next question is, if I find a turret, what happens if I go into first person while using a turret? Don't think there was a turret on this map, but I know a map where there was.
Game over.
Game over. High ground. So in theory, we got a few vehicles to try this with. In theory, we can go into first-person view mode inside a vehicle. I mean, that's cool enough. I'm hoping for developer secrets, you know. I'm hoping we go out of bounds and we see like a big picture of someone's exposed ass or something. So there was a turret up here. So you're always in third person on a turret. Now we're in first person on a turret, and it's absolutely unplayable like that. Can't see shit. So if I get in the Warthog, I want the other seat. And then I go... Haha! I know, I feel like I can't see where I'm driving. If I go into editor mode, yeah, I'm still dropping whatever that is. Is that the oddball? Can't shoot it. Whatever it is, I can't do anything with it. So the last thing on this option is theater, and I'm very curious about this. If I can actually play some early cutscenes, or if they're just going to be like the campaign levels and not load. Current map is not available. It's a system link. Yeah, so we can't play online. If we set system link, I think it's going to wait to see a console first. Yeah, so we've seen everything, unfortunately, that there is to see out of this prototype. Which, I mean, is unfortunate. Adjust the gamma settings for your screen or turn cust scene subtitles on and off. Cust scene. Set my my service tag though. A letter from A to Z and 2 numbers. Pah! Space, you've just come in at the end. We've seen everything that there is to offer out of this beta. But I don't want to leave it here. Because I've got some other cool prototypes to show. We might as well just include it in the one. So, hold on, I'm about to boot into something really fucking cool that I've had available for a while. So let's just keep it going. Let's just keep it going. No, we'll keep it going. I'm keeping it going now. Rayman 4 isn't on the Xbox 360. While I've got this set up, I want to boot into stuff that's 360 related. Because I've gone to the effort of getting it on my USB. Just to make sure we're up to speed on the meaning of words, a beta is a prototype that is nearing completion. An alpha is a prototype where the game is playable from start to finish. And a pre-alpha is a game that is not playable from start to finish. Here's a pre-alpha. That doesn't boot! Okay. The game comes with multiple XEX files, so we're not out just yet. This is a beloved game series that has been around since, like, the very early 2000s. Hey, welcome. We finished having a look at Pimps at Sea. There wasn't a great deal of content available to look at. However, I'm about to boot into a pre-alpha of another game from a beloved game series from the very early 2000s that is still seeing releases to this day, and recently went free to play. So which franchise could I be talking about? Well, if I can boot into it, I'd like to show you. Game couldn't start. Try downloading the game again. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch! Jacob's got it. But I didn't want to make any promises until I can actually get it to boot. I have a pre-alpha here of The Sims 3. But it seems to be a struggle to boot this. And I want to show it to you because it's amazing. All the text strings are like, replace me, replace me. So I'd love to show it to you if I can get it to work. So to give you some context for what I'm doing here. So I'm looking through the game folder, default.xex, which is what an Xbox 360 game boots when you put the disc in. Didn't boot. The Sims 3 XEX bootable didn't work. So the only other thing I haven't tried is this. Privloader. No. So that isn't the only beta of Sims 3 that I have. It's unfortunate that that one doesn't work, because that one's a pre-alpha. And it would be nice to show off a pre-alpha. However, I do have an alpha here that I would like to attempt to boot into. We'll see if we get any better luck. So, Sims 3 HH2 Alpha. Let's have a look. So again, we got a default XEX, which I'm going to try and boot into first, because this is the standard bootable executable for 360. No luck! Really? This is disappointing. Is there an early prototype for Fortnite? Yeah, it's called Unreal Tournament 1, 2, and 3. The Fortnite trailer with the like hyper realistic enemies in the nighttime setting, that was all smoke and mirrors. There was never a game to go along with that trailer back in the day. Right, so we're gonna try booting into this version of The Sims 3 DR. Game couldn't start. Sims 3 is out of the question. Alright, you motherfuckers want James Bond. Let's try and get you James Bond. Let's see what I can do. So there's 2 builds of 007 Legends that leaked, I think it was last year. Both in fairly early stages with test maps. And I would love to boot into those. So let's attempt it. So GoldenEye 007 Reloaded 2018-08. 007 Reloaded 2012-11. So the thing about this GoldenEye 007 Reloaded name is because the people who dumped this prototype had no idea what game it was they dumped. Ah, GoldenEye doesn't... What the fuck? Ah! Not booting. This is amazing. Nothing boots. But I'm a JTagged Xbox. So it should boot. Hello, booted. Prototypes aren't an issue. I've booted prototypes on this system before, and I'll do it again. But apparently I'm going to struggle to do so. So maybe the 2008 version of 007 Legends is too early. Let's try the 2012 version. Is there a prototype for prototype? Yes. I'm pretty sure a prototype of prototype has leaked. No, we're getting nothing. Game error, the game couldn't start. I'm just gonna turn my my JTagged Xbox off and then turn it back on. I don't think that's the issue, but I'd just like to explore it. The console is displaying nothing, which is fantastic. JTAG, yeah, it's an exploit to run modified code on an Xbox 360. A fancy way of saying a modded Xbox 360 console. Xbox, go fish! Whoa! Oh, fuck it. I'll show you what I'm doing. I can't keep hiding the menu every 5 seconds. Games, my games, Freestyle Dash. Every arcade game you see there has been patched so it runs on this system, without the need for the DRM. Don't worry, I own most of those. I'm gonna go back to File Manager, USB, JTAG, folder. Let's try booting into GoldenEye again. On 2012 XE. Yeah, so it's not that the console had got confused. these executables aren't loading on my console, which is concerning. Because I'll show you, I can go into any game and boot an XCX file and it will work. I don't have to load games from the fancy game menu. I mean, I can. I can go here and load games with box art. You know, no problem, I can boot games this way. But I can also boot games by going into the file manager, finding them on the USB hard drive. DE 465607 DE. Wonder what that is. Soul Calibur? This game could autosave. Oh! Oh, I don't think I'm allowed to show this off. Oh, I think this is the English language American localization of Phantom Breaker. Yeah, I totally don't have access to that, honest. Don't sue. So, yeah, I could boot into games just fine from the USB, so for some reason... the Bond betas won't load, the Sims betas won't load. Now, hear me out, all of these, I had an ISO file, and then I had to open an application on my computer and rip them back to JTAG format. So it's possible that something fucked up there, but I don't think that's the case. Because, I mean, it's booting into... In the case of, like, Sims, where there is a default file, it will boot it. It's just the default file points to nothing. Do I have any other betas? Come on. This is from, like, 3 months out from the game's release. This'll boot, right? Right, so not every beta is a no. I guess the only way to find out which beta is going to work and which beta isn't is to keep trying them until I get a result. So is this before the game had Butcher Bay? Oh no. It's got Butcher Bay on it. So I was hoping for some kind of debug menu in this build. Like if I press a certain button or if I pause. So we'll see if we can get a... Why I can't boot them? I guess they're looking for some kind of dev-related thing that isn't there. Like external files that are missing or something like that. The files aren't designed to be run on a... So I was hoping for maybe a debug menu here. Inventory. B help. Yeah,
hey,
it doesn't look like...
Don't fucking move.
Today, Johns, you get fucked.
You don't move.
This actually doesn't look
Hey, hold
far
it.
out from the
You go where
final release. It really doesn't look far out from the original, from the final release. Gonna boot into Dark Athena and see if I've got a menu in that. Wow. This menu seems quite dark after doing that. There's a few 360 games that go really hard on the bloom, and they do that if you back out from menus really quickly. It's really bad in LEGO Bionicle, because you can be standing in the hub world and you just can't see anything.
Hope begins in the dark. But but most just flail around in the blackness.
I'm going to assume that I don't have a debug menu on this one.
The darkness.
I was kind of hoping this would have a debug menu.
Is where I shine.
So there's a few other betas I can try, a few other betas I can get my hands on. It's just a shame that the Bond betas don't boot. Because they've got super cool fucking test maps. I got screenshots of them. Maybe a thought has occurred to me. Maybe I can emulate them in Xenia. Because there's something about there's something about emulators making games think they're being played on dev kits, like certain game demos that boot into earlier prototype builds when you run them on an emulator. Yeah, so there doesn't appear to be anything particularly special about this. It is just a build from a little bit out from the game's completion. There doesn't appear to be anything missing or different. Which, I mean, that's the most boring kind of proto build. When you might as well just be playing the full version. Drag Body. I saw Drag Body. Yes. Finally, some breakfast. You come with me, I'm really hungry. Okay. Looks like I'm not going to be able to get very many interesting betas running today, which is unfortunate, but we did take a look at Pimps at Sea. I was hoping there was a little bit more to see in that, but there was not. I'll take a look at the meantime as to whether or not I can get that GoldenEye beta to run on Xenia. Because if I can, then I can show it to you. I don't know if I've asked this, but do Xbox own the rights to every Kinect game? No. Who would own the rights to Star Wars Kinect? Who developed it? It's Disney licensed. Disney-owned license. Who developed that? Was it Microsoft Game Studios? I think it might have been Microsoft Game Studios that developed it. But they would have developed it for Disney. So Disney would own the rights, I think. It's a weird one. Those Disney games from that era are weird. Because Disney stopped making games themselves and they started handing their licenses out instead. They shut down Buena Vista Games, so Pure went along with it, because Pure was one of theirs. As soon as they closed their studios, no more Pure games. So that's kind of a weird one. I'd have to look into that. Alright, thank you very much for coming. A little bit snotty and miserable, but I tried my best to bring you some betas. It's a shame none of them really booted. But I'll look into that, find out which betas boot, and then I'll come back with something more interesting on the next sort of archive dive beta thing. In the meantime, I'm going to check to see if GoldenEye and Sims boot in Xenia, because if they do, then we'll definitely go through those betas, because I think they're really interesting. Well, betas, alphas, pre-alphas. I think they're fascinating, so we'll take a look at them at some point if we get the chance. Alright, take care everybody.